Day 6, White Horse to Fairbanks. Just under 600 miles of epic scenery, ridiculous road conditions, and a major milestone, our first steps into Alaska. The day started on a high note. Right outside White Horse, we saw free roaming horses grazing alongside the road. It was like stepping into a Western movie, if that Western also featured a group of guys on motorcycles dodging potholes. The first stretch of road was deceptively smooth, decent asphalt that let us actually enjoy the ride and the jaw-dropping views as we approached Kluane Lake. Naturally, we had to stop for pictures. One of the guys decided his Spider needed its own lakeside glamour shot and rode right down to the water's edge. Great idea until his bike got stuck in the sand.
And now we have to go rescue Kevin.
Shortly after Destruction Bay, smooth asphalt gave way to craters and blind dips that came out of nowhere. It was like riding a roller coaster you didn't sign up for. Then came the gravel, huge stretches of it. Washboard sections rattled our bikes and our bones, while deep potholes and ruts kept us constantly on edge. Then we saw it, the Welcome to Alaska sign. We pulled over like conquering heroes, threw off our helmets, and posed for pictures like we just won a championship. Day 7, Fairbanks to the Arctic Circle and back. A round-trip adventure that took 14 hours to cover just 391 miles. It was a day of testing our endurance, laughing at our own stubbornness, and celebrating a goal we weren't about let to slip away. The night before heading out, we chatted with a local who, let's just say, wasn't exactly optimistic about our plans. The Dalton Highway is terrible right now, he warned us. You might want to rethink going to the Arctic Circle. Naturally, we nodded politely and then immediately ignored him. I mean, what does a local know? Turns out they know a lot. The Dalton Highway lived up to its reputation and then some. Potholes? Check. Gravel that made you feel like you were riding on marbles? Double check. Mud so slick it felt like the road itself was trying to throw us off? It had that. But we pressed on because making it to the Arctic Circle was one of the main reasons for the trip. Finally, we made it. The Arctic Circle. Standing there with the sign behind us, covered in dirt and grinning like idiots, was a moment I'll never forget. Sure, the ride was tough, but the sense of accomplishment was worth every jarring bump and questionable decision. Day 8, Fairbanks to Anchorage, a long rainy ride covering over 360 miles. With the rain coming down steadily, the camera stayed packed away for the day. So unfortunately, we only have pictures. It was one of those days where you just put your head down, focus on the road, and keep moving forward. We stopped at Denali to stretch our legs and pick up some souvenirs. Even though the weather wasn't on our side, there was still an excitement in being so close to one of Alaska's most iconic national parks. The rest of the ride to Anchorage was quiet, with the rain tapping steadily against our gear. The fog made the scenery feel mysterious, but it also meant we didn't see much of what lay beyond the road. It was a long, damp day, but another step closer to completing this incredible journey. Day 9, a planned day off, or so we thought. None of us could resist the pull of the road, so all 5 of us geared up and set out on what turned into one of the most memorable days of the entire trip. A round trip from Anchorage to Whittier to Seward and back. To get to Whittier, we had to ride through the Anton Anderson Memorial Tunnel, which was actually pretty cool. It's a single-lane tunnel, shared with a train, stretching nearly 2.5 miles through a mountain. Whittier is a tiny, quirky town surrounded by towering mountains. It's known for its odd charm. Most of its residents live in one massive building that also houses a school, a post office, and a handful of other essentials. From there, we continued to Seward, another picturesque coastal town. We stopped for lunch at a spot overlooking the water, with a cruise ship docked just offshore. What was supposed to be a day of rest turned into another day filled with exploration and laughter. Day 10, Anchorage to Haines Junction. Just like that, the trip was officially halfway over. We were turning around, heading home, or at least in that general direction. But even though we still had plenty of exploring ahead of us, there was this bittersweet feeling in the air. Leaving Alaska behind wasn't easy. The weather, though, seemed to be giving us a proper send-off. Clear skies and sunshine lighting up the incredible landscapes one more time. Riding out of Anchorage, we were treated to sweeping mountain views, rivers glistening under the sun, and endless stretches of open road. As we made our way south and east, we hugged the curves of the Glen Highway, a route known for its jaw-dropping views of mountains and glaciers. The glacier, with its bright, icy blues cutting through the rugged landscape, was a reminder of how wild and powerful this place really is. Crossing back into the Yukon, we felt the shift, not just geographically, but emotionally too. Alaska was behind us now, but the adventure was far from over. Haines Junction welcomed us with its own stunning beauty, nestled against the backdrop of the Kluane National Park. The mountains here felt different, still majestic, but like they were signaling the next chapter of the journey. It was a day of contrast, excitement for what lay ahead, and a little sadness for what we were leaving behind. But that's the beauty of a trip like this. Every mile tells a story, and we were only halfway through ours.